More news coming in at this point in time. Heavy security deployment has been seen outside the Bangladesh embassy. This is a security that has been beefed up again at the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi. We have these images on our screens at this point in time. Remember, there was an attempt by some protesters to gather there, and then they were removed from the place after being questioned. But security continues to be beefed up at the Bangladesh High Commission. Images are from the national capital, as you can see on your screens at this point in time. This comes at a time when tensions between both the countries are at a high. Images are from the High Commission in the national capital, where there were attempts by protesters to gather in the past as well. Security has now been beefed up. And after Hindu youth Deepu Das was lynched by a mob, demands for justice is only growing. Family of Deepu has hit the streets in Bangladesh's Mymensingh seeking justice for the deceased. The protest followed the lynching of Dipu Chandra Das, a Hindu minority citizen in Bangladesh's Mymensingh district on the night of 18th of December. The garment factory worker was beaten to death by a mob. After the assault, his body was tied to a tree, set on fire, left in full public view. The lynching of Das has sparked protests across Bengal. Suvendu Adhikari staged a protest in Kolkata over the mob lynching. A similar protest was held by the VHP in Shiliguri. A senior leader of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party is now alleging that Hadi's shooter had links to Jamaat and was bailed out twice before the murder. BNP veteran Nilufar Chaudhary has claimed a senior Jamaat-e-Islami leader and lawyer, Shishir Manir, secured bail for the accused once just months before the killing. The big question, was the killer protected? I'm going to now go across to Salim, independent journalist, joining us from Bangladesh at this point in time. Thank you for joining in. I want to begin by asking you, the current situation is such that there is a trickle-down effect even as politics in India is concerned. At the end of the day, this is a minority person from the minority community who was killed in this fashion. Of course, India is talking about the fact that there is a pattern to this. Sheikh Hasina herself has indicated that there is a pattern to it where Hindus, minorities in Bangladesh aren't safe.
Thank you for having me on the show. First of all, you have to understand, which the Indian media doesn't want to understand, that Bangladesh was thrice partitioned in 1905, in 1947, and 1971 on the basis of Islam, with a Muslim majority. Myself, I am not a nationalist. I am not a. I have no. I'm anti-establishment. But if you come to the point, this incident had been occurring since 1972, just after the year of the birth of Bangladesh. No perpetrator has been punished. No perpetrator has been arrested. No perpetrator has been accused for the crime. So you can understand that this situation is something like that you do not be punished for whatever crime you are doing. Regarding in 19, okay, I'm sorry, I have to go back to last 15 years. In the last 15 years, every month, Hindus, the Ahmadiyyas, the Christians was in trouble. The persecution continued for 10 years, Sheikh Hasina's regime. None of the perpetrators went to seek justice. So there was no justice for the crime committed in Bangladesh. So if you come to this present era, yes, there is incident which is continuing for the last 55 years. We do not know when it is going to stop. We do not know when who can stop it, because everybody is responsible for the crimes. I'm not talking about the Islamists. I'm talking about the people who are in the law enforcement, the judiciary. Everybody is involved in giving a scope for the perpetrators not to be arrested or not to be harassed, not to be arrested.
You know, at this point in time, what do you think India's role can be? We've, of course, been very cautious and guarded about what's happening right now at this point in time with, several groups emerging here in the country, in our country as well, talking about the manner in which minorities are facing assault, and there's a pattern to this. India has condemned the attacks. The anti-India sentiment on ground is something that India has condemned. But what next, really? As far as the road ahead is concerned, of course, the demand continues to be for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina back to your country.
Why should India be concerned about Bangladesh? Bangladesh is not concerned about India. Bangladesh is not concerned about China. Bangladesh is not concerned about Sri Lanka or Nepal. So why India should be? What is India trying to behave as a big brother? Look, I am not a nationalist and I'm not a patriot. So I can ask this question. Why India alone has to be concerned? Why not Nepal? Why not Bhutan? Why not Sri Lanka? Why not Pakistan? Why not China? Why not United
Is
States?
also anti-India, isn't it? Samad Salim, the sentiment on ground is also anti-India.
This anti-Indian sentiment has been built up since 1972. That is what I'm trying to tell you. It has built up in 1972 when Sheikh Mujib, the founder of Bangladesh, was the stalwart and the most powerful person in it. He never stopped anti-Indian campaign or sentiment.
All right, I'm going to thank you for joining in. Samad Salim, journalist there from Bangladesh, talking about the current situation there, saying that this is about minorities in the country, in Bangladesh, and that India, in that sense, shouldn't be involved in what is happening. But on ground, what we see is a sentiment which really is against India. It's not new, is what a section believes, and that this has been on for a while now. Well, uncertainty in the country certainly continues, as does lawlessness.